what does New Testament grace giving look like? Well, first, it's not about the tithe. That's right. Tithing is from the Old Testament. If you were living under the law, then you were required to give a certain percentage every year in order to support the Levites, those priests who were mediators between you and God. But of course, all of that would take place if you were part of the nation of Israel, thousands of years ago, living under the Old Testament law. But here you are today, a New Testament believer. So what does grace giving look like? Well, the Apostle Paul tells us to give freely, from the heart, not under any pressure, and that God loves a cheerful giver. Maybe you've heard that you're supposed to give until it hurts. Well, that is certainly not the case. What we actually see in the New Testament is the polar opposite of that. Don't give because it hurts. Give freely, from the heart, and not under any pressure at all. Somebody says, well, okay, that sounds great, but how much should I give? Isn't that the whole point? You get to decide. You get to decide in an atmosphere of freedom as God inspires you. Why would you give? In order to support the gospel message, to get the good news out there. So the bottom line is that the Apostle Paul tells us in 2 Corinthians that we can give out of our abundance. We can give from the extra that we have. We can give because we see that there's a need that should be met. That's the real motivation. It's not about giving 10%. In fact, you look back at the tithe and it was way more than 10%. When you do the math, it ends up being 22, 23% in all, on average over a year span. And so we've been teaching people the wrong percentage, and we've been teaching people the wrong motivation, and we've been teaching people the wrong covenant. We're not under the law, so we're not under the tithe. Even Jesus himself tells us this, that tithing was a matter of the law. He says so in Matthew 23:23. So, what does giving look like for you today as a New Testament believer? Just wake up every day and give. Give from the heart and live from the heart. After all, the motivation shouldn't change when you get out your wallet.